Seiko have just brought back a digital icon. But are they any good? Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. And today, a very exciting one on Seiko. Because I have in my possession all three colour variants of the new Seiko Rotocall. Yeah, unbelievably, Seiko have brought back an icon, a legend from the 80s. The watches that were nicknamed the astronaut because actual NASA astronauts in the 80s wore these watches while they were in space. And even though it wasn't officially approved by NASA, these astronauts sweared by them. And this was because they had a unique way of functioning. Now, it's only when you dig deep in your research do you realize just how important and pioneering Seiko was for digital watches in the 70s and the 80s, and arguably without their innovations, the digital watch market may have been completely different. Anyway, ironically, just as Seiko are dipping their feet into the mechanical watch world, Seiko are re-dipping their feet into the digital watch market with a 40-year-old legend. Now, I've got to say a big thank you to Francis & Gay Jewelers because Shari at F&G was very kind enough to send me all three colour variants. There may be one of these variants that don't go back to Francis & Gay. Like you need another watch. Shut up, you. Anyway, what's it like? Is it worth the big price? What does the wife think? Well, it's all to come in a fun Seiko package. Are you Seiko astronaut ready? Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Look at them. The SMGG19P1, the SMGG17P1, and the SMGG21P1. The 80s are back! And what Seiko have amazingly done is try to make a true reissue of these 40-year-old watches. It's not often I get to review full stainless steel digital watches, but these honestly look and feel like vintage digital watches. Me personally, I think I prefer the black with the yellow on the bezel. That's my favorite, I think. I'm not sure if the blue one was ever an option back in the 80s, but it certainly looks like the color variant that's most modern. Now, the case is nice and slim, very compact. The lugs are very thin, nicely brushed. We got a pusher at 4 and 7 o'clock. A great coin edging to this 8-sided bezel, which is a huge important feature to this watch and very unique to most things on the market. We have a screw down case back. And this watch is water resistant to 100 meters, which is very nice. Looks like we have an aluminium bezel insert that is ironized. In doing that, Seiko has really kept that vintage look, which I absolutely love. And with all the colors on this watch, as I said, it looks like a watch that has been picked out from 1983, and you've gone back to the future with it. The bracelet, it's nothing to shout about. The end link isn't solid. It is hollow, which does add to the lightness of the feel of this watch. The links look solid. They are push pins, unfortunately. We have a small Seiko clasp that is stamped, but in keeping with the style and the look of the watch. Quick spec check! Right, so this may put off some of you, particularly if your wrist is over 7 inches, but the diameter of this watch is 37 millimeters. It's got a thickness of 10.6 millimeters, a lug to lug of just over 43, but a very strapaholic lug width of 20. With these thin lugs, thin case, and 37 mil diameter, this is gonna look the size it is, possibly maybe even be a bit smaller. Anyway, with my 6.5 inch wrist,
I'm slightly grinning. Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Now, let's talk about the bezel, shall we? Because this is where all the magic happens. To start off, we have a module inside here, which is the A824, and it's only going to lose or gain 15 seconds a month. But to operate it, well, this is no Casio. How you move from different modes, well, you twist the bezel. If we turn it clockwise once, we have the time to set. Turn it again, we have a countdown timer. The next one is very unusual. The counter, something that only bouncers would want. So every time someone comes through a club, they push it once. To reset it, well, you just press 2 buttons together. Anyway, my favorite function on a digital watch, the stopwatch. Notice that we always have the time in the bottom screen, which is very good. Next rotation is our dual time. We have a daily alarm and a single alarm. Now, let me just say that the rotating of this bezel is really nice. It sort of just falls and then locks into place. I'm not sure you can hear it, but ooh. Very nice feeling. And just to let you know, you can go clockwise and counterclockwise with this bezel, and it is very intuitive. And what is fantastic as well is that the bottom pushers change what they can do depending on where you've twisted your bezel to. For instance, if you go to the time and push the bottom left pusher, where we have the ice white LED backlight, which is pretty darn strong. Notice also at the minute we don't have a charm or a noise, but listen to this. Let me go back to the time and then press both buttons together. Have a listen. Is that not 80s or is that not 80s? What that does as well, we now have beeps when it comes to operating, I don't know, the stopwatch. However, annoyingly, the only way to have beeps is if you have the hourly chime on as well. You can't have either or. Anyway, absolutely phenomenal. I think the battery in here lasts around 3 years, depending on how much you use the watch and how much you press the backlight. But it is very intuitive, and it makes me wonder why Seiko didn't carry on and continue with this way of operating digital watches, but I absolutely love it.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, wow, and these watches look awesome. It really does look like I've taken someone's vintage Seiko from their collection and put it on my wrist. The pops of colour on all of these watches are phenomenal, and you can definitely see Seiko making a few more of these with different coloured bezels. In actual fact, I do like the look of the Japanese domestic models, the gold and the all black one. As I said though, I still feel out of the three, this one is my favourite colour. It just shouts more 80s than the other two. I think the bracelet's going to fit lovely. The links are small, not too heavy. I really like it. So there we go, the new Seiko Rotorcalls. What do you think? A lot of people have a go at Seiko for bringing back uninspiring reissues that are quite easy to reissue. This, you can't say that. This is essentially a brand new watch, but they've made it look and feel like an old watch. And it just shows you the might Seiko had even back in the 80s. For a lot of people out there, there may be a couple of sticking points. The one thing that is a little bit of a struggle to accept is the price. To buy them brand new at the minute, they're going to cost you £480. That's a little over 60 quid more than the Arnie. However, you're looking at a Seiko Path, a big one. So therefore, well, obviously I will need to be buying one. Do I think it's a little bit overpriced?
Hell yes!
But it's the Seiko Astronaut. They brought it back. But Seiko, now we need a solar version. So here it is, the wife's impressions of the new Seiko, well, new Seiko Rotorcalls. Ooh, I actually like this. Looking at all the colours together, this reminds me of the Simon Says game, you know, in the 80s. Also, Uno. I think I prefer the black and yellow the most, but this is fun.
Yes, yes, get it!
Now, I didn't tell her the price. Why would I do that? But listen, team, I think I got the all clear. Francis and Gay, I'll be sending the package back with one less watch. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want to support the Mad Watch Collector channel a bit further, we've got a Patreon now. All good stuff like see the shows early, blooper reels, private group chat, and get your name credited at the end of every show like this lovely lot. But if I've got you here for a few more minutes, and I think I have, why don't you check this one out? I mean, this, I don't know why you're not. I don't know why you haven't even clicked it straight away. I've got a watch on it. I'll put my Daytona back on, but go on. Click it, you'll love it. I'm telling you. You will love it. You will. Go on, I'm waiting. Wait, now what time? Oh, I haven't got a lot of time. Go on, click it. Click, click, click it!